Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is May 29th, 2026, and this is my weekly market review. I'm reviewing the Dow 30, that's DIA, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right. All four indexes made all-time high this week. The Dow has joined the party. That's what I'll say. And all right, but let's maximize this quarterly chart and see what we see. On this quarterly chart, we can see that the Dow actually closed near its all-time high and all, and at 510.78. It still hasn't reached its R1 level yet, which is 524.71, and all on these yearly pivots. So again, it is the one that is kind of lagging when it comes to looking at the indexes, how strong they are. But it's only 30 little stocks here. You would think they can just slam those 30 little stocks any way they want, but they are just controlling those 30 stocks any way they want. But that's enough of that. All right, let's go down to this monthly chart. On this monthly chart, what we see here, we see green. We're still above the 9-10 moving average, so we are technically still in a bull market, of course. Again, we can see this month we finished green near the top and all. This thing has broken over these highs and got a nice close above these highs and all. And this quarter, we're still quite a ways away. Let me move this down. We're still, for the Dow, that's still quite a ways away from this R2 level on these quarterly pivots, which is over 527 or so, 528 maybe, and all where it's at this time. So again, we still got a little bit more room to move up on this Dow before it starts having problems. It's usually like in a bull market, it usually gets crossed on R1. It got there and kind of slowed down, got to an R2, and pulled back. So that's why I still think that we have room to go on up to an R2 level and all. That's pretty much it on that monthly chart. But let's go ahead and go down to our weekly chart and see what we see there. On this weekly chart, let me zoom in here. Again, this is where this thing we were seeing, it was making these higher highs, and it finally took off and made all-time highs last week and made all-time highs again this week and to finish the month off, and ended up closing above that R1 level. That's what we see here and all. So that's pretty good for the Dow. And I'll come next month and all, which will be starting, we should be opening up above pivot. So again, above pivot, stay above pivot. This gap is kind of like a jailer gap, I call it. You got the wicks crossing, but the bodies are not crossing. And I don't really call it. That's why I call it a jailer gap and all. But I still come next month, how our R1 level where we kind of expect this thing to go, pretty quick if it's going to continue going bullish and all like it is. That's around 518.39. So again, that's not that far away. That's only like $7 and some change away. So again, I kind of expect it's going to get there pretty quick. As you can see, these pivots are a little tighter this time than it was last time and all. So again, reaching an R1 level shouldn't be that difficult come this next month. So be careful trying to play things based off, selling things based off your pivot levels. Your pivot levels are a little bit closer than they were last month. That's all I really want to say about that. All right, but let's go ahead and go down to our daily noise and see what happened, what it looks like there. Go ahead and go down. And on this daily picture, look at the Dow. This was a short week. You gotta remember that. This was a holiday week. And what I see here, I see how it kind of on Friday of last week, it had gapped up here. And then these couple of days, it kind of just traded right here in this little tight area. And then today, it finally broke out of that little area and all. So again, that was a nice little breakout and all, like the Dow have done before. And again, kind of look out for the Dow. It probably will not come back down here and close this, but it may. That's kind of like just wait and see, because I see it opening above pivot, and I look for it to stay above pivot, and I'll come next week and where we can hit. And then our resistance one level is real close by. So kind of be careful though, because again, this is not that far away with a tight week like we had this past week. No, getting kind of messy there. It's just what I'm seeing here and looking at this now. And let's just kind of like see what's going to happen here. The Dow is one of those ones that I don't trade that often. It doesn't move enough. You know, I don't think there's enough volume there in the options and stuff anyway for me. And also, it's one that I don't trade like I trade the other indexes. All right, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I see here. I do see us continue going higher since above pivot, stay above pivot, and it might be another tight week. Like it's kind of like, because again, you see how the Dow can get where it can go sideways, like, and that's what we might end up having up here at this level now. The Dow just going sideways, and that's what I see, and that's all I really pretty much all I have at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll speak with you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye. All right, if you stayed on here this long, get me over 500. I'm looking at doing another candle pattern. Candle patterns like 2.0. And what I'm going to do on that particular video is kind of give you some trades to think about based on candle patterns that you are seeing in the market at the time. No trade recommendations. When I say that, again, it's just when you see a bullish pattern, what are some bullish trades that you could do? If you see a bearish pattern, what are some bearish trades that you can do? And it's going to be using options again. Yeah, it's going to be using options, and I'll just leave it at that. And that's all I really want to have to share at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Have a good one. Talk to you guys later. Subscribe, like. Let me know if that's something you guys might be interested in. Talk to you later. Bye.